Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. We begin this issue with Cutter being driven outside of Chicago by this white mask. She asked the white mask, how old were you? You know, when you were brought in and they started training you. The white mask tells her 10 years old, and Cutter gets to know deeper about Erica. So she asked the white mask about Erica. The white mask response is, Erica didn't pay much attention to the white mask. She remembers seeing her sparring a bit before she became a full-time hunter. That's all, but we also get the sense that Cutter likes to get inside of people's heads, and she likes knowing itty-bitty details, and this is just second nature to her. So she asked the white mask, good, what about Aaron? Do you know Aaron? And she's like, well, I didn't spend much time around Aaron either, so the house doesn't have any black mask anymore. Nah, not since Aaron died, says the white mask. So she studies hair closely with this white mask, and she's like, really? You don't know him that well? Well, why are you carrying his mask in your pocket? And she snatches it out. Are you happy being with the white mask? And the white mask's like, I'm fine. It's just a conversation. She's just getting deeper and deeper in her head. And this is making this white mask uncomfortable. And Cutter tells her, well, did Cecilia tell you to keep an eye on me, huh? She did. Well, maybe she did. Cutter says. She's clever. I like her very much. Don't I, Dolly? And it's just something very unsettling about Cutter, but it's also building up the tension for when her and Erica do meet for their showdown. Meanwhile, in this panel, Gabby and Octo begin to get to know one another. So Octo tells her, do you believe in monsters? Well, I didn't, says Octo, not until you saw one yourself. Well, yeah, I saw one for myself. And Octo was just messing with her like, well, they're pretty scarier in person, aren't they? They're scarier than what you see in the movies. And Gabby's like, you know what? You can't tell me nothing, man. I mean, I'm probably just going crazy over here. Maybe you are going crazy. And it'd be hard for you not to tell anyone what you really saw, right? And Gabby's like, okay, I don't know if I should believe you. I don't know what's going on here. And Octo keeps on pressing her, like, because a few days ago, you didn't believe in the impossible. Now you are seeing that the impossible is possible. And that impossible that's possible killed your family. And you're just gonna walk away from it? And Gabby's like, look, dude, I think I'm just going having a psychotic break point at this point, you know, or breakdown at this point. So don't even mess with me like that. Well, what if I tell you the thing is eating that killed your family and it's nearby because I can smell its prey? Do you want to find out where it's at? Dude, I mean, okay, this Octo thing is definitely messing with Gabby, and it's kind of cool, but it's also building up more tension. So Ricky and Erica Slaughter are having a conversation, and Ricky's like, so you really want my help? Yeah. Well, why do you think I can help you, says Ricky. I need to speak with Gabby, says Erica. I need her to know and to hear what I'm telling her. Well, this girl's not big on listening. I gather that. And Ricky's not even sure what to believe because she's telling Erica, you said something weird is happening in this town, and it gets weirder and weirder, like something about this hot spring killer. Well, yeah, and it's not human. And Ricky's like, I don't know if I should believe you. What the hell? Look, Erica says, Gabby knows that she saw it, and the fact is, it let her live. It means we can use her to get to this monster where we want it. The monster, says Ricky. Yeah, says Erica, look, I know I'm sure it comes off that I'm some kind of lunatic, and you want to put a girl who just saw her family killed in the path of a person that killed them, says Ricky. Not a person, says Erica. I know this sounds batshit crazy, but we just gotta go with it. And speak of the devil, Gabby calls Ricky. So, well, Gabby tells Ricky, like, look, I went out even though I was told not to go. I figure it'll be time for you to compromise, and I'm gonna go where this octopus is telling me to go to find some dead bodies. What the heck is that supposed to mean, says Ricky? A stuffed octopus? And Erica this just triggers Erica's like, give me the phone, Ricky. Give me the phone. Give me that damn phone. You know, so somebody wants to talk to you, says Ricky to Gabby. Listen, do not listen to the octopus. It's gonna get you killed. It's a bad octopus. Bad Octo. You're the lady with the eyes, says Gabby. Yes, I am. That octopus is bad. I don't know you, so I'm just hanging up. Typical teenager that's just petty and it's snarky too. So she hangs up on Erica, and Gabby asks Octo, are you a bad octopus? Yeah, says Octo. I ain't holding nothing back. It's truth. Okay, good. Well, everyone says I'm a bad kid, so I figure we are a match. So let's keep going. So Erica tells Ricky, we got to go. We need to find her right now. What are the closest hot springs to the Wolf Water close enough to Gabby to walk to? And Ricky's like, I guess there's a couple. Then we got to go right now. Wait a freaking second, says Gabby. I'm just gonna take your word for it. I'm just gonna take this off for granted. I need you to, says Erica, or Gabby is going to die. Hear me out. Worst case scenario, I'm some sort of nut, and we pick up Gabby and a stuffed octopus, and there's no monsters, nobody's dead, and we could just tell me to F off forever. Or stand in the way, and when you get the news of what happened to her later today, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And Ricky has something to think about, so she does make a business decision and she goes on. So Octo guides Gabby to the fence and they're here. It's feeding. Get in quick if you're quick enough. What are you looking for? Just a peephole, says Gabby. So she eventually cracks the gate. Get in! And when she gets in, she crawls under the bushes and she sees this humanoid in the shadows, just disfigured and looking, ugh, man. I mean, I'm sure that'll play out very nicely on Netflix when this humanoid monster comes out to real life, but it's like mouth in the wrong places and eyes on the stomach and just teeth around the eyes, and she's just like FFF, you know? How did I kill it? And Octo just goes silent, indicating Octo is setting Gabby up for death. So when the humanoid senses that Gabby's here and gets closer and walks in like this weird, disjointed, disfigured, it's just not human at all, even though it looks human, and the footsteps approach closer and you can just hear the, why did I get the Friday the 13th vibes as the as the monster is just approaching Gabby, and all she can do is just close her eyes, put her head down, and Erica Slaughter comes into the rescue and gets to work on this monster. But you can tell anytime she slashes and crashes and stabs the monster, it's not really affecting any kind of damage to it, or it just hurts it. That's pretty much it. Erica stabs it and stabs the eyes on the stomach, and it's not really doing much. It screams in pain, but it's not putting it down to its knees, and you know, so Erica tells Gabby to run. Ricky comes in, Gabby, we got to go, and they go, but Erica, you can tell she's bleeding out from her arm, probably got bitten by the monster, and she's just gonna bleed out to death, and the monster tosses her to the side and walks off, limps off as it just needs to go somewhere and heal. Erica tells Gabby, you didn't run. And Gabby's like, I'm sorry. Well, is it? Well, Erica's like, it's gone for now. Don't worry about it. It's cool for now, but I'm just going to bleed out. I'm just going to bleed out. That's it. So they have to rush Erica to the hospital, you know? Erica gets a phone call and it's from Gary, even though the phone line says Gary, it's actually Cutter. And Cutter is actually talking to Erica, just taunting him. And Erica's like, well, who the fuck are you? Well, Cutter's like, good. I was worried we weren't going to be able to reach you, you know? It's rude not to pick up when a good friend calls, especially a good friend you've convinced to break every code in the order that raised him and trained him and let him live on this lonely little farm. You can call me Cutter, by the way. And you just get this sense like, dude, she did a number on Gary Slaughter. And just to show you how much of a bitch she is, she kicks the dog in the midsection. And these dogs can do nothing but just bark at her and growl at her. But you know what? It ain't gonna do nothing. So Erica's like, what do you want? You sound hurt. Disappointed. I wanted this to be a fair fight when I ran into you. Stop playing with me and tell me what you want. Oh, Erica, the games are just beginning, says Cutter. She tells Erica, I want to let you know that I'm going to kill you and everyone who you've been getting your help from in the House of Slaughter. What did you do to Big Gary, says Erica. Oh, he's sitting right here in front of me. Do you want to talk to him? So she lets Erica talk to Gary one last time. All Gary can tell her is, get the freak far away as far as you can because she's coming and she is going to kill you. Apparently indicated Gary tried to fight her, but this girl is way too skilled and way too sinister for Erica to deal with. This goes beyond what any training protocol has ever taught Erica before. But as an indication that she knows where Erica is like, oh, you're in Mexico, tribulation, and you're dealing with the duplicates type? Well, you know what? This monster is beyond you. Gary hasn't told you how to kill it, but I'm gonna kill you before you figure out how to kill it. And she slashes Gary's throat. And okay, that's all, says Cutter. Have to say I'll be there soon and can't wait for you and I to have some fun together. Ta-ta for now. She hangs up the phone and all Erica could just do is cry her tears out as someone who mentored her and taught her, and you do get the relationship rapport in Something is Killing the Children, issue number 20, and how Erica and Big Gary's bond really is. And that's where we end this issue, and that's where we end the story arc of Something is Killing the Children. Bottom line, this is horrifying and well written. The stakes are big to begin with, but they are blown out the water by letting Cutter loose. Tense doesn't even come close to describing what this gut punch of this book this kind of is. I'm looking forward to the next story arc, and like I said, this is one of my favorite indie comic books to read. Link in description if you wish to add this comic book to your comic book collection. With that being said, Something is Killing the Children, issue number 25. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy, don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.